Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. As always, we are sponsored by Dell's Outdoor Advertising. These guys are fantastic. Traditional and digital billboards from Pocatello to Blackfoot. Great way to get your message across to potential customers. Keep top of mind awareness. And if you call Rob over at Dell's Outdoor Advertising and you sign up for at least a 3-month deal, he will give you your installation for free or your first month for free just by mentioning that you heard about them on the podcast. So give Dell's Outdoor Advertising a call right now and get things set up for the upcoming new year and get your business started the right way. Okay, today is an awesome day for me because I have a long old-time friend. I haven't seen her for a while, but we've known each other for a while from high school days. This is Mary Millward from Rockland, Idaho. Mother of 6 now. She is a visionary at the Butterfly Campaign. She's also a public speaker that goes along with that visionary position. And she has studied and been a part of holistic medicine for many years now. And she is just living her best life currently in Utah, but she will be coming back into the Idaho borders here soon, correct?
Yes, very soon. Can't come soon enough.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Mary, to the show. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And yes, I'm a longtime friend, but not an old friend. I'm still young.
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way by any means. This is where we're good that I'm in Zoom, so you can't physically slap me for saying that. So I didn't mean it that way. No, that's awesome. Okay. Well, Mary, you've from being from Rockland, you've had, a lot of different experiences over the years. What has led you to being what you're doing right now with being the visionary within the Butterfly Campaign? And
Yeah. Awesome. Life is, such a beautiful, beautiful journey. And it's just interesting how different things come into our path. And sometimes we don't understand the reasoning behind it. And it's nice when later on down your life, you can kind of look down your timeline and go, oh, okay, that makes sense now. And that's kind of what happened for me. I found myself in a pretty desperate situation about 4 years ago. I found out that my little baby, she was about 18 months old at the time, needed a surgery. She was in desperate need of a surgery. And I am a bit of a wannabe hippie, and we don't have health insurance, and we don't go to the doctors too often. We try to, take care of a lot of our own needs as naturally as we can. But I went up to Primary Children's in Salt Lake City and found out that she needed to get the surgery done. The billing department told me that it was going to cost $20,000 cash. Because I didn't have insurance. And then the doctor said, Mary, if this were my daughter, I would do the surgery today. And so, of course, that felt like an enormous amount of pressure on my shoulders. And I know we can all relate with being in a desperate situation. And I drove home and was in tears, and I didn't even have $20 to my name, let alone 20,000. We just moved back from Detroit after we'd hit a huge hardship. We flipped houses in Detroit. So that was so many great stories. We could do a whole nother show about that.
Let's do it.
But let's do that. But we just were trying to get our feet back under us, and sometimes when it rains, it pours, and I just got flooded. And so I came home, went upstairs, I prayed, I said, I need a miracle. And literally the very next day, a very good friend reached out to me and just said, hey, I've got something that you need to see. And I know my first initial thought was, gosh, it better not be like in the network marketing space. I don't want to do that, right? Oh, not one of those, right? And then I was like, hold on, I'm going to come with like an open heart and an open mind and I don't believe in coincidences. So I came, and I learned about this powerful company that was changing people's lives, that was really out there to bring hope. That was the mission. And it was based out of Idaho Falls. I
Wow.
said, oh, nothing bad comes out of Idaho. Only good.
That's right.
It's true.
That's
So it is a fact. And so I said, I'm going to, connect up with this project. And I was like, I don't have business experience. I've been raising children. I had 6 babies in 9 years. So I was in the baby making business, and I was really good at that. But I was like, I don't know how to build a business. But it came with mentorship. It came with full support that way. And I said, okay, I can do this. And I jumped in, and thankfully, the desperation led to inspiration for me. And I feel very strongly that was supposed to happen the way it was. My daughter, I look at her like this warrior that just took this on. So her mom would get out of her shell and push herself, because I always knew I was meant for something more and bigger. And I just didn't know how that was going to come about. And that's what caused that warrior in me to rise up. Right. And so within 4 months, we earned enough to be able to pay cash for her surgery. And since then have helped many thousands of people have a lot of success. I think we've got our team's been paid out over $13 million in the last 4 years. And I do that while I'm home with my children. I even homeschooled 5 of them last year. And it's been a true and honest gift to have what we have. And I consider it an honor and a privilege to share it with people. So that's my story, my journey. That's what set me into a place where I put myself out there and was kind of forced to learn and grow. And I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to do so.
That's amazing. I like that. I love to hear, because everyone has that point. Everyone has that point that, like you said, brings out that warrior within them, and it's in different, sometimes it's later on in life, like way late in life. You think about it, Colonel Sanders for KFC, his warrior didn't come out until what, he's 65?
Right.
When he couldn't live off his Social Security checks, he decided, well, I'm going to start cooking some chicken.
Incredible.
And others hit it earlier, but everyone has that time in their life where they are literally figuratively tapped on their shoulder and offered a chance to do something unique and fitted to their talents. And I told you, and that's a paraphrase quote from Winston Churchill, but it is remarkable that everyone has that ability to find that within themselves and to either have that fight or flight syndrome, and
absolutely,
you got to make that choice right then.
Yep.
So it's wonderful. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can I piggyback off that?
Please.
Because that fight or flight, it's interesting because about 3 days in to making the decision, saying, yes, I'm going to do this, about 3 days in, my flight kicked in, my fear kicked in, my belief went down, and my self-doubt took over. And I called in and I was like, you know what? I can barely get dinner on the table. My laundry pile is taller than me. Who am I to build a business?
Yeah.
What do I know? I can't do this. I let all those terrible, horrible lies come in and inundate me.
Yeah.
And thankfully I had the mentorship, right? And I reached up and said, hey, these are some things I'm thinking and feeling. And they walked me through it. And they, you want to find the leader that, knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. Right. Yeah. And that's what they did and guided me through it. And thankfully I pushed through that fear because it hit hard. But it's important that we have those experiences, because now I can guide people through those moments where that flight instinct kicks in. And it's a total decision. It's an absolute decision. You get to decide what kind of life you want to create. That's the most divine quality we have in this life, is the ability to create. Yep. And I love that you said that, getting that literal or figurative, tap on the shoulder. If you're not feeling called to do something, get ready, because it's coming. There's a big need for you and your gifts. Yeah. No,
I agree. Let me just read that. I think it's a good quote. I might as well just put it in this episode because it's so good.
Yeah.
So this Winston, to each there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on their shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing unique to them and fitted to their talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for that which could have been their finest hour.
Ooh,
I love it. It's been one of my favorite quotes since 2004. It's been my go-to. But it is, people, you have, and what in your experience, what helps people to make that big step up or push that big rock out of the way when they have that flight, overcome them?
Yeah, it's got to be two things. I think it's got to be a really solid, strong why. I heard you speak about that before, the importance of having a strong, solid why and what it is that you want to accomplish. Like, I'm sure you've heard the example, if you've got, a burning building and somebody, puts a ladder between this building and that, and asks you to cross it, you're going to say, no way, I'm not going to go into that burning building. No way. You couldn't pay me $1 million to do that. But you put your child in that building. You don't even think for a second. You run across that ladder, you grab your child, you come back. So it's a matter of having a strong burning why and desire. And also the second component that's extremely beneficial and helpful is having that mentorship to help guide you through it, because it is frightening to step into. It's like you're stepping into a dark space. It's a new space that you've never been in before. And it feels very, very new, very uncomfortable. We're used to this, right? And so we want to kind of hide back in our cave, kind of like the Croods. If you ever watch that movie, like, hey, stay safe in your cave. This is where your safety is. But it's like, no, you've got to go out and you've got to start growing and learning. And when you have a mentor that can guide you and show you and be like, hey, you're not alone. I've been where you've been and I can show you how to move forward. So those are the two things to help really catapult you out of that stuck space.
I like that. And going back to what you said about your friend offering you this opportunity, and you had that flight come upon you, and what probably pushed you is just knowing that my why is my daughter in the surgery, and people think of it this, when they have that stuff happen to them in their lives, say they want to make more money, and they really look at this, what's going to take to make more money. And they automatically think, oh, it's impossible. There's no way I can do that. But if you erased kind of that money sign and said, well, if you did this, you would be able to retire. Your kids would be taken care of. All the security that you need and your family needs would be taken care of. And really put those whys in place of the dollar signs, then you can accomplish anything. And that's been my experience. And obviously I'm not where I want to be quite yet, but we continue to grow and we continue to develop our skills and that are necessary to get us there. So I think that's huge.
Love that.
Understand that.
I love that. And I had the benefit too of my why was literally staring me in the face every single day. Yeah. My little baby girl, and that was helpful, because sometimes it's easy to like push your why aside and be like, oh, maybe it's not that important. And so I was fortunate to have that. That was definitely a benefit in driving me.
Yeah. No, I love it. That's amazing. Well, is there anything else you would recommend? You would talk to the butterfly campaign, I guess, is all about empowering women. But even the men listening right now, obviously they're going to take a lot of this and they can learn and grow from it. But what are some of the key takeaways when you're doing public speaking and stuff like that, besides what we've just talked about with the why, that you kind of bring out and try to help them come home with?
Yeah, I love that. So we do have the butterfly campaign, which is our women's empowerment movement. But I'd like to first mention that I believe so strongly in the importance of the powerful dynamics that come with both men and women. We're actually about 40%, 30 to 40% men. And together we can really be a powerful force for good.
Oh, awesome.
And I feel like men get a really bad rap these days in society and in media. And the men in my life are good. They're wholesome. They want to be great fathers, and they want to, be great providers and take care of their families. And I just want to give that shout out to all of you men out there, because I feel very strongly about that. And so, that's Spencer, awesome. You're one of those great men. So thank you for being who you are.
Thank you.
I mean, you've come a long way since high school. So
I knew that was going to come. I knew that was going to be in there somewhere.
No, actually, Spencer's always been a wonderful person from day one. So, but with our women's empowerment, group that we have, we'll hold online events. We'll do, we've done some in-person retreats. We just did one down in St. George. We had 65 women down there, and it was really powerful. And actually, even though it's a business, we're here in a business, the entire event, we did not even for 1 minute talk about business. It was all about mindset. It was all about mindset principles, really learning how to dial in your gifts and strengths and self-belief, because that's all it comes down to. And it's really more of an unlearning, right? Because we're born with confidence. We're born like thinking we can take on the world. And then the world comes in and, crushes us and puts this weight on our shoulders and pushes us down. And it's like, if we can just shove those off and let you start to stand tall and stand in your power, now you can go out and make a difference in the world. So when you have a team full of people who believe in themselves, now it's like, we're off to the races, and we really are going to change the world. We're going to be difference makers in this world. So that's what that's about. We also held a huge event in Alasso Ranch in Dallas, Texas. It's a beautiful camp, men and women. Again, it's a business retreat, but we didn't talk about business the entire time. We did all sorts of trust walks and trust falls and different things to help people break out of these limiting beliefs and break through into their best self.
I love it. Because that's so much what I'm focusing on in this last 2 years, really. And I think if I think back on what kind of held me back was, what if I do something wrong? What if I do something that's embarrassing? What if I do this? And my mindset coach, she always says this phrase, and I love it, but it's often wrong, never in doubt. Because don't look back and be like, man, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. No, you're going to make mistakes, but be sure about the decisions you're making and continue to go forward as a leader, knowing that, hey, life is life and it's all full of imperfections, but I can be confident in what I'm doing and decisions I'm making.
That's powerful. Often wrong, never in doubt.
Yep. Often wrong, never in doubt. Yep.
Yeah, that's really, really powerful. I love that message. It's all about failing forward, right?
Exactly.
You got to do it and just fail forward until you get there.
The Idaho Business Podcast is sponsored by New Clean Commercial Cleaning. This is my company, guys. I'm telling you, I'm not just because I'm the owner, the creator of it, but we are a great company for servicing your janitorial needs, your carpet cleaning needs, your stripping wax needs, all your floor maintenance needs. We are there for you. Everything is backed up by the "we're not perfect" guarantee. And if it's pretty much if you call and we don't get a hold, you don't get a hold of us, we will call you back within an hour and fix the problem within 24 hours, or the cleaning's on us. So that is our promise to you. And if you call or go into the Idaho Business Podcast website, click on the New Clean logo and book a janitorial solution huddle with us, and mention that you heard about us on the podcast, you'll get 2 free restroom floor cleanings for your office for free. Tile and grout in your restrooms will be sparkling clean. And that's the offer. Tell you, take us up on it. You won't regret it. There's no strings attached. So go see them today. See ya.
This is the end of part 1 of a 2-part episode. Tune in next time to hear part 2.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.